Alrighty guys, welcome to the fourth installment of the iRacing Dirt How-To series. We've covered the super late models, the UMP modifieds, the big block modifieds, which those two are very similar, they're almost the same thing, and then now we're going to cover the sprint cars. Sprint cars are a completely different animal once again from all the other cars. Sprint cars are, in my opinion, probably the simplest cars on dirt to drive. So it's going to be a very short video. There's not a whole lot to show for how to drive the dirt sprint car, at least not on a tacky track. So we're gonna very quickly jump into this, and I'm gonna give you a really fast rundown of how to drive the dirt sprint car here on a tacky track, or just the basics of what you're aiming to do here. All right, so you see here we're back to Charlotte. We're at setup identical to Charlotte Dirt. I'll give you a quick rundown. You can take a look at the setup, double check, and see that it is the Charlotte baseline. I'm not even changing the fuel. I'm going to go ahead and hop out here on track. I'm going to go ahead and start around the track here. I have not even so much changed the wing position. I've not done anything. I'll roll around the track at about pace speed, which is 40 miles an hour. 35 to 40 at least. Now the sprint car is the simplest car for multiple reasons. You'll see here in a second as to why I say that. As you come out of turn number 4, we're going to take the green flag, quote unquote green flag. Get straight onto the throttle on a tacky track. You'll notice I am completely wide open. Try not to get too much slide, keep the car as flat as possible around the turn. And I'm going right straight around the track. There's really not much to show as far as the dirt sprint car goes. You just want to keep the car as flat as possible. You don't want to get too much slide.
13.088.
And you want to just kind of let the car drift. You'll notice in the wheel input, as I say that I get a little bit loose, but you'll notice in the wheel input, I've got very, very little wheel input compared to the other cars. The sprint cars, more or less, depending on your setup, will drive itself. Essentially, with the top wing, the car automatically wants to lean to the left and push to the left around the turn. So it's very, very, very simple to do. Now, things that I recommend doing, I'm going to go ahead and cover this just a little bit, simply because of how short this video is. I'm literally 3 minutes into this video, and I've pretty much covered everything there is to know about the dirt sprint car on a tacky track. There's not much of anything. So, that being said, things I'm going to cover really quickly is with the sprint cars. My opinion, what I have learned, is the tighter it is, the faster it's going to be, because the more flat you're going to be able to keep it, and the more you're going to turn left. Now I'm on the iRacing baseline here, but the one thing that I can do that I have not done yet is I've got it mapped on my wheel. All I do is it's a little wheel that's on my wheel basically. You'll notice up here in the top right, up here in the top right, you'll notice that that's moving. That is my wing. See, now my wing's down here in front. I just brought it all the way forward. What that's doing is that's loosening up the car. That's putting more pressure down on the front wheels, so the reaction in your front wheels is going to be much faster. It's going to react a lot more when you've taken that pressure off the back wheels and now transferred to the front. Now, if you pull it to the back, now that's as far back as it goes. Now the car's going to be tighter. You're putting more pressure on your rear wheels, which is going to make it dig more, which in theory could give you more speed, but at the same time, a lot of times it doesn't. Most of the time it actually doesn't. What you're going to use that for is you're going to use that for the slick track. It's going to push you back. It's going to put more weight on the rear wheels. It's going to put more aerodynamic downforce on your rear wheels, which is going to pick up on the front, which is going to allow the car to be a lot tighter. My personal opinion, tighter cars seem to be faster than the sprint cars. That's why I always run a tight car. I always have my cross weight as high as I can get it and still safely be able to run the track. Now, the bigger the track is, the looser you can make your car and still keep it flat. And if you can bring that wheel forward and flatten your wings out, that's going to be the fastest way to go around the track as far as your wing positions go. When I say flatten the wings out in your garage, you'll be able to set your nose to 22 degrees, which is as flat as it goes, and you'll be able to set your top wing to 24 degrees, up to 24 or 26, which is as flat as it goes. The sharpest angle they go, the front wing I believe is 26, and the rear wing is 30. Those are going to be heavily pitched, which is going to create more downforce all the way across the car, which is going to slow you down, because now you've gone from flat with the air shooting across to that sharp angle, and is now creating more resistance, which is the reason why a sharper rear wing creates a tighter car. So now you've got that downforce on the back and less downforce on the front. It's going to pick the front of your car up, and now your car is going to be a lot tighter. So with all that being said, I'm 6 minutes into recording this video, and I pretty much covered everything there is to cover for a dirt sprint car driving wise on a tacky track. Now there will be more videos that will come. I will be showing you a lot more videos on the dirt sprint car and how to drive the dirt sprint car on the slick tracks. Hopefully I'll be able to show you how to drive the how to set up the dirt sprint car. I'm not real keen on setting them up. I just know how to tighten them up for the most part. That's pretty much all I really know how to do. I don't typically drive the sprint car, and when I do, I refer either to a 3-year-old setup that I drove, or I refer to Rocket Racing setups, which I'm going to throw that link down in the description. I know that it's not a paid advertisement. I don't make any money off of promoting Rocket Racing setups, but I'm going to put their link down in the description. That is my personal go-to when it comes to dirt sprint car setups. When I don't have a setup that works for the track that I'm at, I go to Rocket Racing setups, I buy the setup, I put it on my car, I go out there, and I generally do really good. I've driven a lot of different purchasable sprint car setups, and that, in my opinion, is the best one to go to. So the link will be in the description for that. Keep that in mind. And if you're ever struggling, feel free to hit that link and pick up a setup. So, like I said, remember, that's not even a paid promotion. That is me vouching for setups that have done a lot for me. And like I said, I've gone through a lot of different setup channels. So, with all that, I hope that this video has been a help to you. There wasn't a whole lot to cover here on the sprint cars, other than just keep smoothing the wheel. Very, very little wheel movement for sprint cars. Very little. It doesn't take much at all. Keep the car flat. So, yeah. Have a good one. Hope to see you in the next one.